question force, positive and negative question, and more question auxiliary in verbs and habit or modal verbs. Before and used, the auxiliary verb can positive or negative. In the negative and question to express is surprise. In we why ask about the usage of sentences, the word order doesn't change. I want the auxiliary.
Renew of the tense. It is to talk about events taking place the moment and the reported is completed. Is the usual mentions a conditions take to ter aidon certain time. This is tense used to talk about has actions it the progress is the time.
Vocabulary. Unit 1, trying and using it. And this is example on the word used different time. Example, give up. This is word and then uses is give up, have a go to keep, it will keep to, make up, effort, manage to, fulfill, try or work, try all the work. This is uses different times.
Vocabulary. Unit 1B. B. Trying and succeeding. As adjectives de different belonging, teaching and succeeding that teaching is difficult to endure and those why succeeding is for your win. Next in order as better the difference between teaching and the succeeding that teaching is the succeeding is.
Organizing an article. The three methods of organized writing are characteristic order, spiral order, and order of instances. You need to keep tenses methods of organizing in mind as you plan who to organizing the information you have gathered in a uncle.
Narrative tense. For narrative tense, past simple, past continuous, past perfect continuous. And more is of the tense used the sentences. We were walking as usually on the day. We are forced to them body days of shot.
In future time clause and conditionals, we use future clause to talk about future possibility and future plan or the hype. At here, we can normally use it will be a going or the imperative in the my clause. We normally use it present tense and subordinate and clause which word like when as and unless and longs as proving in cause etc. We can also use it in Samito clause about the factor and thing which and generate three in tenses and we of the present tense verbs in my
Unit 2, the natural world. And this is using a different word in environment and the natural. Example, environment, environmentally, energy, solar, absorbing, footprint, friendly, ecology, water change, global, carbon, warming, climate, heart, impact friendly. This is uses a word and then text on article that in match naturally and also an dangerous in the planet. And this is a moment.
Organized guides in a left. Check the warfare positive interrogative. Don't eat all your food at once. Negative imperfect. Never take straight talks. Basic adverb more imperative. If you think the word might change student, take extra cooling. If my plus present tenses plus imperative.
Multi-word verbs are verbs which consider a verb and unmarked count to participles of the present in the egg, up, over, in, and out. There themes and wild words in a change some about the week, kids, and alone. I brought my children up to Polit. Do you want to take off my shoes? Come in the take a your coat off. Participate before the jobs at the parties after the object.
Present perfect simple and continuous. We use the present perfect simple and to talk about the experience which saying and when they happen for experiences during an in present period in which superlatives in
Vocabulary in Unit 3. This is ability and accompaniment. This is used on words. It is on talent, successful, and potential, brilliant, and exceptional. And this is used on in the text on this script in different abilities in the people and extent of the best person in the intellectual.
Describing data. To describe and analyze the data, we will need to know the nature of data, senses the type of data, influencers the take of satisfactory analysis that can be performed on it.
Use the word. Word is a good for action situations at the word appeared many times. Used to is good for any actions or situations that continue for purity of the time at the past, including respects actions or the situations.
in permission and obligation and to use me as very strong is most situation is more natural to use have name and can't be not to allowed to you it and question which almost very rare and show is more kind of don't know ten question and negatives we of the array very rare to use like have to worry snake is usually I'm fight and making less foreign and to be a two is making out the special because the array follow be objective mass infinite in which
Unit 4 on vocabulary. This is name is birds of every font. This is word uses, and this is T is go hand with, copy with, overcome, and classic go with and give up. This is uses on different um, times. Also go ahead and go and overcome of the finish. Go to with is compound with friendly.
Barbie, talking about difficulty and delicate question that you had to ask someone. As what moment you ever experienced an our
Giving a positive impression. Expand now you can be them Einstein, demonstrate learning both show humility, prepare more than just an answer, ask the conversator about the small base, can know that the company is looking for, let honesty and your personality signs together, find common ground before the interview, progressive a list of reputable reference.
Future probability. We used to model call many male will or more infinitive to express a probability. Jack is going to tow. How will visit is tomorrow. I'd better parent in the nice dinner.
Perfect and future continuous. And future perfect and positive will have chic and negative. She won't have a like. In question will they haven't. And sure as word is yes they will and no they won't. We use the future perfect of the script what expects to happen before a specific time in future. And we use also perfect future perfect will be and will have finished be.
Unit 5 vocabulary is verbs describing tone and conjugates. This is described I conjugates. This is moment on moment before. So easy word relation is relative, be aware, about, absorb, wonder, make, sort, come to, the conclusion the hybrid area. This is this experience in my life on different you uses this thing.
Argument of an stunning idea. For arguments, AC is a problem and cons. AC in which a topic is considered from opposition points of view. You are requested to present both sides in a fair way by discussing them objectively and in a qualitative. The warrant can state his/her opinion of the issue direct or indirect.
Gerald and infinitive. Um, and Gerald is the verb for the task in the ing, ing as they used to know, for example, walking, traveling, voicing, and infinity intense in the past form in the verb practices to Uh, uh, to walk, to travel, to vote.
The passive, we using passive and we don't did something what caused something or this is important and when the ahead is very obvious in and when they might a drink or talk about objects it is real interesting articulate though the passive form in which a verb in appropriate tense must past participle.
6b. Describing change. In the describing the change in mention that I have no and not be before, not not what it does, but it is no Dickens physical characteristics and or attitudes that have changed me. I can describe and change in sentences in present past and present perfect comparative. Example, with the past sentence, I'm fat. With the present perfect, I have taken responsibility. With the comparative, the teacher is more strict than last semester.
Using descriptive language, create a list of ideas. Pick your nights. Prepare an editorial calendar. Cannot work ratio. Prepare an upper word of the blog. Always prepare for and edit before you're pushing. Be sure to use only good quality picture. Right of the rate.
2. Enough to and should. Too much, too many, more known, more than one neck, egg. I drink, for example, I drink too much of coffee. In explications is a noun more a noun a sum is acquired in sufficient ink ng. There is enough time for chats. We put coin first before nouns.
Causative head, we use structure, habit, head in más object, más past participle to you talk about things, and we are ranked to actuality to you observe is significant, and we use the reflexive pronoun myself, her friends, ourselves, to impasse to do a rank or the summit body else to use summit.
Unit 7 and describing in change. All this is different uses different in word. This is example and the below decline and disappear and decrease and deteriorate and persevere they also increase it repeat. This is an example on and context and this is naturally and then very long on different moments and times.
7. Be film on the TV house. I look inside the houses and cells you be the answered in TV shows and movies from some things good guy by the practical magic.
Using formal language. It is used when writing for professional or academic purposes like graduate school assignments. Formal language doesn't not use colloid with contraction of participation, pronouns such as I or we, Informal language is more casual and spontaneous.
First and second conditional. First conditional of relative is first a talk about in the previous situations. Things might easily happen we as the two conditionals on the second is conditional talk about underlying situations. If, for example, if she Sarah, he stay here, can you? In result probability is one in the learning. I did buy a new house.
My name is Lisette Valina Poridia, and we'll talk about this conditional should have mass past participle, and we can use a structure should have mass past participle to crystalline of the complex and past action. In this conditional, we use the this conditional to talk about imagine past event or state and the in consequence. In if clause, if must past perfect. In my clause, wall must have must past participle.
Unit 8. Name is food on TV. Who the person the reality TV with TV program who? This is different question. So yeah, instead am I you know or no you know one so words teaching is over in the program.
Organizing a review. Positive recommendation. Personal opinion. Information about it. The main characters.
Relative clause. The clause of relativity of relate. Clause of the clause is the exercise of functions of subordinate with respect of the clause. Any more information about a thing persons uh, are really being in moment before. For example, the questions that are of the coach are in the purple and the green.
Report this page, we can publicize our thought this past we use chunks and tenses, pronunciation positive reference and place, present tenses are past tenses are past perfect tenses, will can and might, a walk and count and make, past perfect and walk, cold and make, don't normal with the repose verb is present tenses. We don't change in 10 sentences.
Unit 9. Name is proper descriptor and content. In different specific and word, this is uses on realize, beeps, a word, the post sound, wonder time, and make. This is used different time. Example in the simple past, and this is using the different text. It is described verbs described in different conjugation on the unit 9.
9b. Verbs describing tone and knowledge. The think that something is likely to be true, although you have no proof. The hour know about something come to the conclusion.
Preparing a series of arguments. In the first paragraph, it states, in the following paragraph, it's the present. In the last paragraph, summarizes.
Past modals in deductions. The type uses of deductions above past conditions of states. Use the past and the modes of deductions. This is formed with modal verbs more his, more past simple, also will come in the perfect infinitive.
And regrets in which about the future is we use it to make wish about the future. Don't use it what they might wish about yourself in wishing about in the present. You work in the past and the wishing about the present. Can we use mind wishing about the present code? In abundances which code mass infinitive, wishing about the past, we use a past perfect to make wishing about the past.
Unit 10. Name is the verb of an effort and go vocabulary. This is go with it in the word. Copied with every com work on got on with e give up. This is uses different verbs of effort. And this is so example then before unit example the words remember is go ahead with and get up and go with. It is uses on different contexts. This is important in time. I'm sorry. Times is simple past.
10b. Verbs of effort. To make an effort, absolute transitive. To stimulate effort, simple past and tense and past participle effort. Example: I reward for the year's efforts. Second prize was a fair reward for his efforts. I make every effort. We are making every effort to obtain the release of the hostage.
Making a story interesting. 1. Short sentence to describe. 2. Question to describe demands to guns. 3. Prepared with verb more ink to describe action and events.